What's going on is Anton from antondaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. About to get ready for the Millionaire Morning Show shortly. So make sure you guys tune into that. I'm incredibly excited about finally being done with No Shave November so that we can get back to normal. All right. So before we get into this video, I also want to remind you guys that the best day to join the Patreon is the beginning of the month. We got Block Club coming up this week. We also going back in the Stock Club again before the end of the year so we can recalibrate and basically put ourselves in a position to take advantage of this incoming administration. And then I also have some incredible videos, including how you need to reposition yourself from a budgeting perspective. And I want to do a breakdown of everything it cost me to build my first house. All right. So all of that is going to be in the description of the video. Also, Teach Henley, 40% off your first order, plus 20% off for life. And then last but not least, get your tickets to come and kick it with me December 14th. In Detroit. It's going to be a great show. Discount code Anton, all of that is in the description. All right. So aside from that, I actually want to have a conversation with you guys a little bit more extensively before we go into the Millionaire Morning Show about Biden pardoning his son. Now, some people, when I looked at the initial reports, because we was on it first, I looked at the initial reports and I also looked at your comments from the video that I did yesterday when the story first broke. All right. So now we got more context and that's what we're going to go over on the show. But I looked at y'all comments, right? And a majority of the comments was very similar to what I said on After Hours, as far as me saying that, yep, I would I would pardon my child also, because nepotism is real and it's a thing that you know you have to take into consideration. And it also ties back over into LeBron and Bronny as far as nepotism, in my opinion, because I think that people are fickle and people pick and choose based off of who they like at the time. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's what we do, right? That's what networking is. That's what being a certain family member is. You want the best for your children. You're not going to go into life and say, hey, no. My kid has to go to the same schools as everybody else in order to make it equal and make it fair. No, you're going to put your kid through the best school. You're willing to work extra hard and spend the additional monies to ensure that the people that's closest to you benefit. You know what I'm saying? So nepotism is a real thing, and that's cool. I'm not tripping about that, but that's not why the issue is such an issue, because the problem is that Biden spent the majority of his time while he was in office, especially when it was, in my opinion, having election interference, trying to paint Trump as this bad person and then throwing these bogus false charges on him and then costing him all of this money and trying to influence us to think that he's a bad guy when he was never bad before ever running for president of the United States of America. All of his friends switched up on him. And all of a sudden he then became bad man Trump, bad man Orange, racist, fascist, all of this stuff, right? The reason why is because he lied. And when you are a public official, when you are the president of the United States of America, their whole pitch on the Democratic side, especially this past election, and this is how you know they was trying to bamboozle us and they was trying to, finesse us, is you have to be above reproach. You have to basically be the example of what you would want other people to be. Now, Trump, to his credit, in my opinion, exhibits a level of masculinity, and he just says what he means and he means what he says. And I think that that's really what a man is, right? A man is a person that stands on his principles. You're not always going to necessarily agree with him, but can you get along, or does it make sense for y'all to be able to accomplish a goal together? If you starving and I'm starving, would it hurt you, or would you be willing to hurt yourself in order to ensure that I'm not able to benefit? Or are you the only person that benefit from this? I don't care if you win as long as I win also. But when Biden and Kamala Harris walked around, and the very person that she served up under, and him saying, nobody, and it's 1,000 speeches where I'm saying nobody is above the law. No, and the whole idea was that he was projecting leadership, great leadership, and that everybody was truly equal, and that there was no nepotism, only for him to, on his way out of office, burn the whole White House down by basically trying to put us in these wars, acting like it's a peaceful transition of power. No, this is a perception of truth that they tried to give to us. They lied to us. And so it's not that we wouldn't understand that you gonna pardon your kid. It's the fact that you tried to finesse us and making it seem like you had a different set of standards and rules for Trump and everybody else, while at the same time saying, and let's remember, he said this too. Oh man, no, this is not on the agenda. No, we're not looking to pardon the Karine Jean-Pierre chick. The speaker was saying that, no, he's not going to pardon anything like that. But it was all a finesse. It was all a lie. And this is why people hate politicians. They hate it because these people are supposed to be public servants. They get greatly rewarded. And then they lie to you straight up to your face. They're not even pretending no more. They're just going to lie to you straight up to your face and act like it is when it ain't. And that's the problem. That's the one problem. It's not that we don't understand, is that you tried to sell us on one thing while at the same time doing something different for yourself. And that's not cool. It absolutely isn't cool because it just makes the Democratic Party look even more fake. It makes people more skeptical of voting for you. And more importantly, it just shows that in hindsight, we were right for voting who we voted for. And it's not that anybody is a saint per se that's in politics or navigate over into politics. What it means is that you're not a man of your word. And more importantly, you could have just not answered the question altogether, but you decided to double down and triple down and quadruple down because it sounded good at the time, when in reality, you knew if he was ever convicted that you would be pardoning him. And there's no way in the world that you would be leaving office while your son is going to jail after being sentenced December 12th. And so I just don't like the fact that, when you get into a certain position, with greater power comes greater responsibility. And so if you are to be an example, I can't personally do some of the things, and nor do I want to, but in a general sense, I can't get away with certain things that everybody else may or may not be able to get away with. You know why? Because I am projecting and also being a reflection of what I would want other people to be. And so it then becomes hypocritical. And it's not that it would be any less truthful, that, whatever you saying may be true, the dynamics between men and women and how money works and all of this. But if you're not a reflection of it, then it then becomes less impactful, because why should people follow you above anybody else? You know what I'm saying? If anybody can say anything and then do what they want to do, I'm one of those people that say I'm a reflection of the man I would want my daughter to marry. But then at the same time, if I go in and say, hey, no, you know what though? Do what I say, not what I do. It becomes less impactful. Is it any less truthful? No. It's not less truthful that that's the nature of people and this and that and so on and so forth and what I think is the best thing to do. But if it's so great, then how come I'm not holding myself up to that same standard? Why does it then change when it's for me or when it's convenient for me? And that's the issue. And nobody, I don't think, is ever going to hold Biden accountable for it. You can't hold him accountable for it because he's the president and he can literally pardon who he wants. But they tried to make it seem like they were better than everybody else. That's the issue. It's not that you did it, it's that you tried to sell it like you was better than everybody else. And that's not cool. It's never going to be cool. It's, again, why people continue to leave the Democratic Party, because the one thing, again, that you can't say about Trump is that he is what he is. He say what he say and he mean what he say. And you may not necessarily like it, but at the same time, it gives you the honesty so that you can then make a decision of whether it makes sense for you. It's like relationships, right? If you walk in and you tell her what it is, but then she still decides that she want to participate, that's on her. But if I lie to her, then I have to be responsible for how I impact other people. At least that's how I see it. Y'all let me know what y'all think inside of the comments. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Millionaire Morning Show is coming on today. It's going to be absolutely awesome. I love you guys. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you later. Peace.